Today's how-to is about draining and refilling the coolant on a Duramax. The truck that I'm using is an 04. Anyway, adding coolant would normally sound pretty simple on an older engine. You open up the rad cap, fill it up, let it run for a while, and that's about it. And refill it after it's warmed up. But that's a little bit different on these. And just underneath here, the drain plug is on the passenger side. Got it loose already a bit. If you open this cap on the overflow, it'll start the drain faster. Catching most of it. So what you're going to need for this job is a ratchet with a 12mm socket and a short extension, funnel, some drain pans, enough that you can hold 21 liters of coolant if you plan on draining out the entire system, and you're going to need 21 liters of fluid to replace it, so be prepared. In my case, I was changing the thermostats in it, so I only had to drain out a little bit, and I just reused what I had drained out of it. If you plan on draining the entire system to replace the old fluid with new fluid, then I would recommend that you drain all of the fluid out of the rad first, and then after it stops pouring, then start the engine up for a little while and just rev it up a couple of times and let the rest of the water come out, and some more should pour out of the rad then. Hopefully that way you can get most of it drained out anyway. In order to fill the radiator back up, you need to take out this bleeder screw right here. I've already got the cap off. The owner's manual recommends that you use only Dex Cool silicate-free antifreeze, and they're very specific about that. Talk about overkill. A little bit of a big funnel, but I'm supposed to fill that until it starts leaking out of the bleeder screw there. No. Nope. And put your screw back in as soon as it starts coming out. I don't know what the torque is on it, but just snug. So after you get the bleeder plug back in again, keep filling it. Oh, I guess I'm there. Up until it's just over the halfway mark there. And then start the truck up. And on the first start, I'm going to leave the cap off of here. After bleeding the system and adding fluid, I was reading on a site that you're supposed to rev the engine over 3,000 RPM at 30-second intervals for about 5 minutes. Now, I don't recommend this, and I didn't do it this way, and it worked fine for me. But I did rev it up over 3,000 RPM a few times, and it did look like it helped to work out some of the air bubbles.
down a little bit. Back up over the halfway mark again. Seems to be staying there right now. I can't get it up to operating temperature, so I'm going to take it for a little drive.
During my test drive, I wound it out a couple of times. I put it down into third gear, and it wound out to over 3,000 RPM as well, and that's actually when I noticed the temperature gauge starting to go up, and that's when you could see that the thermostat's opened.
So just let it rev up a few times really good. Up over 3,000 RPM and let off, and that'll help work the bubbles out of it. Now we're getting some heat. And it's starting to go back down a little bit again. That means that the thermostats are all the way open. That means they're working. So we're back home now, and the gauge is just up over a little bit over the quarter mark. That's higher than what it was at before. So I'm going to go and check the antifreeze again. The antifreeze is just at the halfway mark, so it should be a little bit fuller than that. Don't open that when it's hot. Let it cool down and check it again. So I let the truck sit for about 10 minutes, and I slowly took that cap off, and I refilled it up to the mark right here. It says full cold mark, so it should actually probably be a little bit fuller than that, but I'm going to leave it like that, and I'll check it in a day or so. It's been a few days now, and it's just underneath the mark where it says full cold, and the engine is cold right now. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like.